Hello everyone, welcome to TSK F1. My name's Rich, and today it seems as though Daniel Ricciardo has been confirmed for the third seat at Red Bull for the 2023 season. We're going to get into where this has come from and also some stats about Daniel Ricciardo and what he has to offer for Red Bull and F1 as a whole. Helmut Marko was speaking to German Sky Sports when he said Daniel will be our third driver. We've got so many sponsors and we need a driver for showruns and the like, and Daniel Ricciardo is high profile. It's interesting that he's mentioned the showruns and things like that. Do we think he's going to take a higher profile role than that? Is he going to be at the circuit and things like that? We're going to have Liam Lawson as well as a reserve driver for the Red Bull team. I've been quite vocal about what I think about Daniel Ricciardo. He's always been the next big thing, I feel like, within Formula One. When he came onto the scene, he was one of those drivers that you really saw something special in, that he was really hopefully going to be that next big driver. And for some reason, I don't feel like I'm the only one. I attach this youth with him, and I think it's maybe his personality, how bright he is, how funny he is, and things like that, that you just immediately attach this youthful sort of thought with Daniel Ricciardo. But the truth is, at 33, he's been around the sport a good long time. Now, he has delivered on occasion, but he does seem rather inconsistent, especially in more recent years with McLaren, for one reason or another. People will claim sabotage and things like this for Daniel Ricciardo. I don't believe this to be true. McLaren, of course, want to score as many points as they can in the Constructors' Championship, and it would make no sense whatsoever to sabotage one of their drivers to ensure a lower finishing position. It makes no sense ever to do so for a team. But to have a look quickly at Daniel Ricciardo's stats. 33 years of age, he was 33 in July, 231 starts within F1 and 8 wins. Of course, he's had some famous wins, like at Monaco. 32 podiums and 3 pole positions, 16 fastest laps and a total points haul of 1,309. And he debuted back at the British Grand Prix in 2011, which, like I was just saying, it really confuses me. It breaks my head a little bit that Daniel Ricciardo has now been around Formula One for 11 years. And it might just be a personal thing, but I always think he'll get there soon. He'll soon deliver what we think he can deliver. He's had some famous wins. He's had some really strong finishes. He went to Renault as what you would expect the team leader. And I think in truth, he went to McLaren expecting to be number one, to be beating Lando, and it really hasn't happened that way, has it? And I wanted to throw this out to you guys. Do you have the same impression of Daniel Ricciardo as I do? But I think overall, it's an interesting move. It does keep Daniel Ricciardo within the Formula One bubble. He's not gone from it entirely. And this does open the question, what happens to Mick Schumacher? Is he going to go to Mercedes? Because that was one of the potential moves for Daniel Ricciardo, be it to Red Bull, be it to Mercedes, because Toto Wolff also spoke favourably about Daniel Ricciardo. Is Mick Schumacher going to take that reserve role at Mercedes? We'll see in the coming weeks, no doubt. But I think it's an interesting move. Do you see a way back for Daniel Ricciardo into a race seat? Now, a lot of people are suggesting this is Red Bull positioning Daniel Ricciardo within the team to take over from Sergio Perez after his contract runs out, which I think runs until the end of 2023. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think that would be an odd move. I feel like Daniel Ricciardo feels as if he has the quality to be a number one driver, but I can't see where on the grid that's competitive that he fits as a number one driver. Max is a Red Bull. He's going to be number two to Max if he gets that seat. If you look at Mercedes, they've got Lewis and George, and even when Lewis goes, you think that George is going to be the number one there as well, and that's years down the line, and Daniel Ricciardo is not getting any younger. And then you've got Ferrari. Could you see him going to Ferrari? And even if he did, would he be number one over what would probably be Charles Leclerc? Because Charles Leclerc, he's basically guaranteed a seat for as long as he wants it at Ferrari, isn't he? So where else would Daniel Ricciardo fit? Because he was very nice about it, but he flatly rejected Haas. He can't do McLaren and Alpine. I honestly thought he was going to go to Alpine, but they've got Gasly and Ocon. So I don't see where else he goes, and he'd probably see AlphaTauri as a step down as well. It's a really interesting one because you see a great driver there, and he has great stats, and he's just been underperforming, hasn't he? Is he deserving of an F1 drive? It's a weird one because I always find myself thinking he's not a number one in a top drive in a top team, but I don't see him as a number two in a top team either. But also, I don't see him in one of the lower teams because I feel like he's too good. So is it time for him to take this third driver role? Is it time for him to look at other opportunities in other series, maybe IndyCar, maybe go into WEC? I think he did say that IndyCar, he doesn't fancy the ovals because they're a bit crazy. But I would really love your thoughts on this, guys. What do you think? Is this a good move for Daniel Ricciardo? Can he get back on the grid in the future? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, please make sure you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel. I'll see you very soon, guys. Thank you.